Yeah. Instead of listening, you can join Patreon for 6 hours. I want to let you know there is a free component to Patreon, but they do not get near as much content. It is maybe like 2 or 3 posts that they are able to see. Everything else is paid content, and that is $6. You have to join the paid community when you go over to Patreon. Because I have a lot of people saying, "Well, I haven't seen you go live." You have to be a part of the paid community to see those lives because on social media, I go live when I have time, whereas on Patreon, I have a dedicated schedule. Once per week, we do an Ask Brandy segment. You can ask all of your questions right then and there on the live, and it's a smaller group, so it's easier to maneuver. And also, those people can message me directly on Patreon. Okay. Let's get started with our first email. It says, "Hi, Brandy. Hey, girl. First off, I have to say I absolutely love your content. Hashtag FTPATJ. Y'all know what that means. Fuck them people at that job all the way. You always keep it real, and I can't get enough. Thanks for the laughs. And now I've got a situation at work that I would like to share with you. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So I work as a receptionist at a dealership in the evenings. Back in September, I had to call off due to a family emergency. When I reached out to the sales manager, he hit me with, "We haven't had a receptionist all day. Why aren't you here?" I explained it was an emergency, and the next day when I showed up late, another sales manager sent me home because I had missed or I was late and missed the day before. Now look, I know I'm not the model of punctuality, but keep it cool. But I kept it cool. I didn't flip out. I smiled and said, "Okay, I understand," and walked out like an adult. But then once I got home, I got a "you messed up" email. You got me messed up, or I sent a "you got me messed up" email to the sales manager, general manager, and HR about being sent home. I also pointed out that morning that the morning receptionist wasn't sent home, even though she had taken the day off too. Side note, she is a white woman, in case this is important for context. It actually is, because if you are not being treated fairly, that is definitely a factor. Fast forward, we had a meeting with HR and management, and they ended up compensating me for the day they sent me home. We had a nice conversation about how things would move forward, and I thought that was the end of it. Oh, you thought that? You thought that, Betty? You sent up them people you got me fucked up email, and you thought that was gonna be done? Since then, on 3 separate occasions, I had approved PTO days and still received texts from a sales manager asking if I was coming into work. The last time, I was literally getting off the plane at the airport, and this guy was blowing up my phone asking if I was coming in that day. So once I got home, I emailed HR because at this point, I felt like it was borderline harassment. They had a meeting with me where the sales manager said he was concerned because I didn't reply to his text. Like, really? This is where we're at? Oh, Lord have mercy. And then, just when I thought it couldn't get any more absurd, a week later, the morning receptionist thought it would be hilarious to tell me it would be funny, or it would be funny if a freeloader, or if a wheel loader, sorry, ran over me. What? Of course, I replied, or I reported it to HR and management. They said that they talked to her, but since then she's been giving me the attitude. Definitely wasn't expecting this from her. Mm, baby, come on. Yesterday I came in and she was sitting at the desk writing, no phone calls coming through. I stood there for about 3 minutes waiting for her to get up, and I asked her if she's about to get up since my shift is starting. She doesn't answer. So I go to the sales manager and explain the situation, and he says, "Well, She's scheduled until 3. Now I'm confused because since I started in March, she has never stayed until 3 o'clock. Never. You hear me? Okay? You know what is happening, y'all. Okay? We know. But let's continue. So today we had a meeting with HR and management about the situation. They tried to spin it around, saying I had animosity. Yeah, towards her. And I'm like, how can I have animosity towards someone who told me it would be hilarious if a wheel loader ran over me? Make it make sense. Anyway, I'm just sitting here like, is this my life now? I'd like to know what you think about all this. Am I losing my mind or is this as ridiculous as it feels? Thanks for reading this long email. I appreciate it. Betty, Betty, you know what the fuck is going on. Okay? They're about to start using aggressive. That's about to be the next one. Not only do you have animosity towards her, you are aggressive. It started with the fuck around and find out email that you sent. And now you have this girl playing in your face when they know that she has not been scheduled for that amount of time. You know. I hope to God that if there is some race component to this that you have been documenting, maybe there are some things that you have not included in this email that can support that. But baby, you are on your way to the angry black woman inside of the workplace. And once you get that title on you, you can never get it off. It doesn't matter how fucking nice you are. It doesn't matter how friendly you are. It doesn't matter if you bought them motherfucking cookies. Once you get that, like, on you, you can never take that shit off, ever. It doesn't matter what you do, even if you were not actually the person in the wrong. Okay? Because a lot of times we know that's not the case. And if you got a problem with what I'm saying, you just go ahead and cut it off because I'm going to say what I want to say. That is a fact. Being black in a white space is very difficult. Very difficult. Because the minute that you express yourself about anything, you are labeled as difficult, angry, aggressive, that you have animosity. They're going to use all of those words to describe you, even if that is not the case. So what I'm saying is that if you feel like staying there, baby, you stay. Okay? Because you know what the fuck is finna go down. But they're not gonna fire you. I'ma just tell you. They're gonna make your life a living fucking hell, and then you're gonna quit. So either you decide now that you're gonna jump ship before it gets to that point, or if you're gonna wait it out and wait till it happens. And that is a decision totally on you. I have worked in so many white spaces where I was either the only black girl or the only black person. Very fucking uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. Okay? And then if you're not playing by their rules, constantly available to them at every, like when they call you and you do not answer the phone, how dare you? That's where my boundaries come from. It's from working in spaces where I was the only black person, not minority, because we know black person. I was the only black person. Okay? And it was quite difficult because if I wasn't the friendly person that they wanted every single day, how fucking dare I? How dare I not want to go to lunch? How dare I not want to play the games that they play? How dare I? So when you put up boundaries, you have to understand that there are some things that come with that. And because you sent that email, you put up a boundary and said, you know what? You're not going to fuck with me like that. You're not going to do that. And so now they're going to make every single thing that happens in the workplace your fault. Even if it really is not. The manager you had approved time off, and he was harassing you like you was his damn woman or something. Why are you not answering my call? I am on PTO. I don't have to, you see what I'm talking about? If you're not readily accessible to people, they cannot stand that. But you have to withstand your boundaries. Do not ever bend them either, because that will drive you fucking insane. I know from firsthand. Okay? Good God Almighty, baby. You know what's about to go down. And every Black woman that works in corporate America or that works in spaces where they are the only person knows exactly what is happening and what is going to happen in just a minute. So you know you got 30 minutes. Do you understand me? God bless you. God keep you. I really hope the best for this situation because I'm actually kind of pissed off right now. Because, for those of you who don't understand what that is like, God bless you. But for us who can relate to that, and you know what happens when you start being attacked. And once they put that label on you, you can never take it off. It doesn't matter what you do. Even if you were not the reason why you are upset, it is because of their own actions that they pissed you off. They will never see you in another light. It doesn't matter how far you progress, even let's say for real that it was actually your own behavior and you were overreacting. I'm not saying that you were because you were not. But what I'm saying is that even if the situation was where you were at fault and you grew from that and you learned from that, you will never, ever be seen as anything different. And it's a sad fucking thing, but it's the fucking truth. Okay? Oh my God, today. I got another long one, y'all. All right. This one says, "Hi, Brandy. Hey, baby. I'm sure you get a lot of questions via email for your show, but I wanted to send a few words of appreciation for what you're doing. I came across your reels on IG and enjoy them regularly. Thank you very much. When I discovered you had a podcast recently, I decided to take a moment and listen to a few episodes. Your voice is so calming and refreshing. Your message has helped me so much this year to overcome issues at work. Baby, it is my pleasure. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. I work in public education as a librarian in a school district that is always in the newspaper for really awful things. Oh, think football sexual harassment or football coach sexual harassment, team members sleeping with the teacher. Oh, Jesus. Not to mention, it's a very red area and that it is or they are vocal about every little thing. Okay. As a librarian, I had to deal, wait, as a librarian, I have to deal across departments and be a middleman for admin. Why? You have to do that. We are contracted, so no raise. I'm sorry. No raise requests or job opportunities otherwise. This is all I can ever be based on certificates I have. No interest in paying more because moving up here would be awful. It is a very toxic work environment, and while I would have liked to leave, I've been here for 10 years, 6 more to go after this school year before completing my pension time and getting out of here. It is less than 2 miles from my home, allows me the ability to take my lunch in the morning, to get my kids off to school, and to be home to pick my kids up from school. In addition, it pays higher and has shorter hours than alternative librarian opportunities I have been offered. So I've chosen, unless I come across a great opportunity, I'm always looking, applying, and interviewing to plan to stay here at least 6 more years and then make my exit. I am now very quiet about, hmm I am now very quiet about my plans. Thanks for your advice. Ma'am, God bless you. Okay, don't ever tell anybody when you planning to jump ship. All that to say, the perspective you share from others' emails and your own experiences in corporate world give me pause on jumping ship. The advice you provide has helped me tremendously place boundaries around my work and colleagues. I have removed them from all social media, explained why to those I like, and have moved work conversations back to work and less personal stories. I did get close to a few people here as friends, and they've shown it's really not a friendship because your coworkers is not your friends, baby. Your latest message of fuck them people at that job has been awesome. I put a note on my desk to remind me so no one here is a true friend. And this place is a place where people will tear you down if they think It'll give them a leg up. Lots of crabs in the bucket. Sorry this has gotten long, but I wanted to share my story and how I appreciate um, and how appreciative I have been of your words and wisdom as a mom the same age just trying to make it through. It's helped me focus on what my administration cares about, only my support of students and less about my coworkers or what my coworkers want from me. Help with personal technology, financial advice, or other personal issues and complaints. I realize I'm not a public librarian anymore and I don't have to help everyone with a request. Thank you. Only school related questions. Come on. God bless you. The rest, I have started to suggest that they contact their supervisor for help, to help from your advice. I pause when people talk to me now instead of jumping to provide help and consider is this personal or a professional conversation? Game changer, and many don't like it. They'll get used to it because they were just using me before and not the library. Thank you so much. You are very welcome. I appreciate you taking the time to put together your podcast and continually support others. OMG. Put you first. Okay. In that workplace, I didn't even see this email. I didn't read it. I just opened it so I know that this is where I'm going next. Boundaries. You have to have boundaries at work because if you do not, those people are going to run all over you. Do you understand? And you need to have boundaries in your real life too. Even with your children, you need to have boundaries with your family members. You have to place the boundaries and know what your hard no is. And you need to know that before you even walk into the workplace. Because if they ask you to do something that is not ethical, it does something to your character when you are doing those things. Because that means you're willing to do anything for success. And just as fast as you receive that success, you can drop down and it can be taken away from you just like that. And if the company ever had to have a scapegoat, it's going to be your ass. Do you hear me? It's going to be you. So you need to put you first. Make every decision that you make about you and your family and how it is going to affect you and your family. Do not make anybody else the center of your decision making. Okay? Let's find us another podcast. All right. This one says, oh, this is another long one, y'all. This one says, hi, Brandy. Hey, baby. Your podcast has been very helpful as a young person navigating the workforce. I'm currently working as a child care program lead for school aged children. I have been with this company for years and it's some changes unexpectedly. Okay. Things were really great within the first 7 months and or for about a year is what she meant because 7 months. Okay, about a year and some change. Things were great. Things were great within the first 7 months, and then tragedy hit my manager's family, and they needed to take a leave of absence. The overhead manager took over my site, and two others plus managing three that they had. At the time, I was working from 5:45 a.m. to 8:30 at one school, and 3 o'clock to 6:30 at my main site. At that time, we had an assistant manager who worked mornings and barely did anything. They were a rehire who had worked for the program before for about 2 years prior. I started to become the main lead and eventually carried the site by myself, picking up snacks, shopping for snacks with the company card, dropping off the documents, picking up supplies and incentives for the kids and everything. Not to mention, parents become more comfortable speaking to me about everything related to issues that I was not present for and documentation. At the time, I was in the early stages of transferring into a graduate program and my time was limited. Yet I made the mistake of using my passion for mentoring the kids and the doing the most queen. I showed up when no one wanted, when no one wanted to, or even thought to, because they knew I would. It came to the point where it was clear managerial communication did not exist and everyone is in their own bubble. I made it to the end of the school year and almost working with a new person every shift with little to no training or idea on how to work with kids. Now it's time for summer camp, and when I was excited, or which I was excited to do, and was offered to be the lead counselor for the middle school kids. Now, my main manager, also the manager for the summer camp, preschool, and the mini kids section within our home building, yet she was absent and had no idea what summer camp was going to look like. No schedule, no lesson plans, no material. People were missing their offer letters, and everyone was very much confused. Again, me wanting to help, that's our problem, to help as it was my first year, assisted in creating lessons and weekly schedules. I'm not even about to read the rest of this email. I'm about to tell you right now. When you go to work, your manager or your leaders, they have specific responsibilities every single day. They have things that they have to get done. You out here trying to do lesson plans, picking up snacks. You what? No. You need to let people fail. I'm so sorry. I know you love the kids, but let your manager have to answer why there are no snacks in the location, why there's no documentation for when incidents happen. If an incident did happen and the parent comes to you, you need to direct them to the supervisor. What are you doing? I can't even read all of that. It's long, and I'm getting irritated for you. Because what are you doing? You cannot sustain that. Why do y'all get on these jobs? You go in and you want to do the most. You're doing the most for the least. You know what they gonna give your ass when you go in there overachieving? More work. They're not gonna pat you on the back. I'm like, wow, she's loyal, dedicated. More work. Wow. A management opportunity came. We're gonna give it to somebody who doesn't do shit. You know why? Because they are prioritizing their own task and what they're supposed to do. You are in a graduate program. This is not your final stop. That is not your fucking problem. It's really not. You probably think like, oh, this is going to give me some really good experience. No, it's not. It's actually not. I can't even read the rest. It is a mile long of shit that you have done at this job. Are you insane? It is crazy. So I know they're taking advantage of the fact that you care about the kids and you want to do a good job. I know that they're taking advantage of that without even reading anymore. You need to stop. Stop it. Let your manager be held accountable for the reason why there are things lacking at work. Because if you don't, you are not going to be celebrated at all because you've been the one holding these things down. No, you're not. When I tell you to put yourself first at work, I am so fucking serious. You do not do anything to your detriment. That means working late ass hours. If you got to be at work till 8 o'clock at night, sitting at your desk till 8 o'clock at night, fuck that. Fuck it. That is not something that you can sustain. Is it okay for y'all to have an after work meeting and you have to meet with providers, like in my situation, or you have to meet with the higher ups and then y'all are done at a reasonable hour, but that doesn't happen all the time? It's just once? Absolutely. But what is not okay is putting yourself on the back burner, taking on other people's responsibilities, dealing with shit that you really ain't got no business dealing with. When a situation happens on site, that is the manager's job to communicate, number one, with the parents. And it's also their job to make sure that the proper documentation is provided to the parents so that they understand what the hell happened. How can you explain anything if you weren't there? You cannot. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. You know, you already know. Okay, you about to be in your bachelor's program, or you already have your bachelor's. You're going for your master's in public health. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my God. Mm-mm. Y'all, I really hope that y'all hear my heart for real, because getting these emails, somebody got to shake y'all. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? You are one person handling shit that you ain't even got no business. You are not technically qualified to be doing that. That's not your position. That's your manager's job. If there's a problem on site dealing with somebody's children, the manager should be the person dealing with those parents. Whether the parents are comfortable or not, they need to be the one dealing with them. Oh, well, y'all, this is going to be it for today's podcast episode because I'm actually overstimulated. Because what the fuck is going on in the House of Congress? No, for real. Like, for real, baby. Please put yourself first. Please do not do anything to your detriment. Do you understand? Say yes. All right. Y'all have a good day. I will see y'all on the internet. Make sure that you are following this podcast. And if you want to watch the video format so you can see my facial expressions, because I know they were very funny, you can join Patreon because that video is going to be up in just a moment. I will see y'all on the internet. Y'all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.